Hey Dana, saw your question in the RP clients group and I wanted to go ahead and give you a video answer because I see these kinds of issues pop up all the time. Now, the issue of leg placement, leg drive, and things like that on bench press is hit and miss depending on where your goals are. But the number one thing that you want from your leg activity during the bench press is stability. So, the way you have your feet pulled under, it looks like your toes are actually really narrow and close together underneath the bench. Generally, I'd recommend just spreading them out a little bit because if you have a wider base, you should be more stable that way. And if you're going to bench with your toes up, that is totally fine as well. But what you want to do to make sure that you have all that stability is push your heels into the ground. You'll feel that going through your hamstrings and your butt. You don't want to push with your calves like that because that's just going to start picking your butt up. But if you start driving through your heels with just your glutes and your hamstrings, you'll see your heels go to the floor, your butt gets tight, and you'll see your chest raise up just a little bit. This way you have all the stability in the world to do really good presses. And even if you're coming down to your upper abdomen, that's okay too. It is more of a powerlifting technique. So if you want to activate more chest, you might want to come up just a little bit higher with your elbows flared, but you don't want to be really up here. This is an extreme way to work your pecs, but it also puts the shoulders in really bad position for potential injury. So pushing into the ground a little bit with your heels like that, making everything nice and rigid, coming down the upper abdomen is just fine. If you want to bench with your feet flat, basically you do the same thing, except it turns into this kind of motion just a little bit more, to where you're going to push your heels into the ground, but it's going to be more like you're pushing this way. But if your shoes are sticky, you should just see that. My butt gets tight. It doesn't come off the bench, but I'm pushing back and up just enough to where I can get more weight on my shoulders, which helps me squeeze down with my lats like that in a good stability or a stable position. And if you haven't seen my video on shoulder position and bench press, I'll link that down below. But we're doing the same thing. Keeping the elbows right under the wrists, bench to the upper abdomen, lower sternum, that's all just fine. So, hopefully that answers a few of your questions and anybody else that's in this thread. Hope you guys are doing good today.